a team that has done something very special, and that team would be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And this year's team that's honored is the 1969 state championship baseball team. This baseball team won the state championship while recording 15 wins to only 5 losses. The team defeated Chalmette in the championship game, score of 4-1. Anybody that grew up in Chalmette like I did knows that there was some really good baseball players in Chalmette. Many who came to Holy Cross, many who went to Chalmette High. And when you beat Chalmette in baseball back then, it was something very, very special. And as you can see, this team is very, very special. We've never had a state championship since then in baseball, so I would ask all the members of the 1969 state championship baseball team to come up for a picture. And the captain and first baseman, Andy Revalier, will give the acceptance speech for the baseball team.
You there? Not only know.
If y'all can stay up here, captain and first baseman. What do you need picture-wise? First baseman and captain, Andy Revalier.
Hall of Fame Committee, we are honored to be here tonight. I know as a team, I can speak for all my teammates, and also for the ones who aren't here tonight to be here. Coach Gene Faust, Chuck Knowles, and Cliff Myers, or deceased. So my heart go out to them, and I wish they could have been here tonight. They were very part of our team. This team had a special bond. We went out on the field, practice field every day, and worked hard, and we had fun. And at that time, the state championship was just reinstated for that year. My freshman year, the state playoffs were top 2 teams from each district, and they'd play a round of best 2 out of 3. Well, I guess it was the principals that decided that that was costing the schools too much money. So they did away with the state playoffs. But in 1969, they reinstated it with the format of a single team from each district, the district winner, going to the state playoffs in a single elimination in Baton Rouge. So winning the first round in that district was very important. We got out to a good start. I think we were 7-1, won the first round. The second round, we had some injuries. Chuck Knowles' back flared up and he couldn't pitch well. Couldn't pitch at all, I don't think. I had a bad knee. I was on thin ice right there. Just fortunately enough, my knee held on for the whole year. We lost 4 games in the second round, but Aloysius came out of the second round as district winning the second round, and they put up a battle. But we came up in that championship game and scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to tie it, and went extra innings to win it 8-7. And to me, that was a great win. I think it was the greatest win in Holy Cross history in baseball. And we just never gave up. I think that loss was so devastating to Aloysius. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kenny. I think they closed the school down. Until this day, when I see people from Aloysius, they remember that game. And then going on to the state playoffs and beating Chalmette was so sweet. Mike Chalmette and myself were from Chalmette, and we can tell you, every time we meet a teammate, a Chalmette player, they would say, why'd y'all go to Holy Cross? Why'd y'all go to Chalmette? I said, well, that's just the way it was. You know, we wanted to go to Holy Cross. And to this day, they still say, Dan, we should have beat y'all. I said, no, we had the better team that night. And I think, I don't know if this ever happened before, but I think in the 3 games we won up there, we only gave up 1 run. And you don't lose many games like that. You know, you win championships that way with pitching. And our pitching came through that night. So, on behalf of my fellow teammates, I'd like to thank the Holy Cross Committee again, and for all the help being out there. Thank you.
I'm going to ask each one of the teammates just to introduce themselves and tell the position they played before they leave the city.
Okay,
And look, he did that, and he does, everybody step back when it is, he does that step up so everybody will be able to recognize you.
Fellas, let's see if you can remember. Get your bat on. Get your right bat.
That's order, oh God.
Sal Serio, third base. Okay? I'm going to introduce the seniors first. Okay, seniors, step up.
Step up.
Seniors. All right, we have Alan Chabert, first base, outfield. Frank Hurstel. Frank Hurstel, second base, catcher. Andy Revalier, first base. Dickie Gotro, pitcher, left field. Juniors. Fred Smith, catcher. Mike Cimento, center field. Steve Reamer, left-handed pitcher. Joe Shambra, right field. Skip Jameson, outfield / catcher. Stan Lambert, outfield. Bobby Ratman on the end, shortstop, pitcher. Glenn Myers, pitcher. We had 2 sophomores on the team that year. Donnie Meyer, third base, and Mark Callbacker, first base. That's our ball club. Thank you very much. I just want to say a couple of words. Andy mentioned the St. Aloysius game. I coached here for 30 years. I coached with Coach Lou for a number of years and coached in the Catholic District. And I have never been part of a game or witnessed a game in all those years as the St. Aloysius game. As Andy said, you know, we were behind 5-0 going into the bottom of the last inning. 2 out, and this was it. 2 outs, nobody on. 2 outs, nobody on. Now you can take somebody and throw underhand and get a 3rd out before somebody scores 5 runs. Well, we put together a bunch of key hits, and the pitching staff got tired. Dennis Sabrio was on the mound, their ace pitcher. He was getting tired, got a little wild. They put their number 2 pitcher in, Steve Filati. He got wild. We wound up scoring 5 runs. After that, it went back and forth. They scored a run, I think, in the 11th inning. We scored a run in the bottom of the 11th inning. They scored a run in the top of the 12th inning. We came back and scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 12th inning. And Dickie Gotro was on the mound. He was the 3rd pitcher to come in. Chuck Knowles had started the game. Bobby Ratman had come in the middle innings. And Dickie came in the last inning or the last 2 innings, I'm not sure, and got the winning hit in the 12th inning. So he got the winning hit in the 12th inning. It was also the winning pitcher. But that, winning that game after that, the state playoffs was just the icing on the cake. It was the icing on the cake because we went and played Bogalusa in the first game. Dickey was on the mound. Glenn Myers finished up for him through 2 innings, and they gave up a total of 2 hits. We shut out Bogalusa 10-0, 10-1. We came back that same night and had to play Woodlawn of Baton Rouge, Woodlawn of Shreveport. Now, this was a revenge game for Bobby. Okay, Bobby, Coach Faust gave him the ball. Bobby, you got it. Well, Bobby had quarterbacked the football team earlier that year that lost to Woodlawn in, was it semifinals, Bobby? Semis or quarters, okay? In the playoffs to Woodlawn of Baton Rouge, Woodlawn had Joe Ferguson quarterback. Joe Ferguson went on to quarterback the Buffalo Bills. Super Bowl, yeah. So, Bob hit Bobby on the mound. Bobby throws a 2-hitter, okay? He had 12 strikeouts. Throws a 6-0 shutout against Woodlawn. 6-0 shutout. They had a pitcher on the mound, his name was Steve Bowden. Threw BBs. Well, we could hit fastballs, okay? So we faced this guy, we scored 6 runs off of him. After the game, he signed with the old Washington Senators. Those of you who are old enough to remember, the old Washington Senators. He signed with them after the game. So we meet Chalmette in the finals. They had thrown what I thought, a lot of us thought, was their ace pitcher, Donald Hartman, in a semifinal. They drew a bye. Chalmette drew a bye, so they had to win 1 game. They played Baton Rouge High, not a very strong team, in their semifinals. They had to win 1 game to play for the championship. They throw their ace pitcher, Donald Hartman, curveball pitcher, okay? They win the game 3-0. Well, we have to face their fastball pitcher, which we could hit fastball. Woody Epinette in the finals. Game is 1-1 all the way through. We go to the 5th inning, and we got 2 men on base. I think it was Cliff and, was it Andy? Cliff was on, and, yeah, whatever. Cliff and Andy was on base. I'm pretty good. Mike Cimento hits a triple left center field against the wall. 2 runs come in. They made a bad relay throw. He comes in. That puts us ahead 4-1, and that was the finals. So, that ended a great season for us. And, it's a shame that 2 guys who really would appreciate being here tonight, 2 of my closest friends, Chuck Knowles, who was already in this Hall of Fame, and Cliff Myers, 2 key components of this ball club. But this ball club, what made us special is we were all friends. We all got along. There were no prima donnas on this team. There was nobody who stood out and said, it's all about me. It was all about the team. And I think that's what made this team special. So, again, if you ask, why did this team get picked? I think that's the main reason, because we all got along. A lot of us played basketball. So we had 5 starters coming from basketball season into baseball season, and we didn't have a preseason in baseball. And I think one of the reasons why was because we had 5 starters coming from basketball, so we really didn't have a preseason in baseball. But again, I think that's what made that team special. And I want to thank the committee for selecting us for this great honor. And like I say, I've been here 29 years as a coach and a teacher, and 5 years as a student. And this is my greatest honor here. Thank you.